Hey, good morning, church. Look, as I've stated before, I was driving by, stopped here at Tart Strawberry and Produce Farm, and it reminds me of producing fruit. Is our lives producing fruit? Because if we're on the pathway that leads to life, we're going to produce fruit. So, and the funny thing about fruit is the fruit, when a plant or a tree produces fruit, it's not for the tree to eat, it's for others to come along. So that's why we got to be out there, we got to be witnesses, we got to belong to a church that reaches out to its community so people can come along and partake in the fruits of the Spirit that you're bearing. Let me read to you John 15:1. It says, I am the true vine, my Father is the gardener. Each branch in me that does not produce fruit, he removes. And he prunes every branch that produces fruit so that it will produce more fruit. You are already clean because of the word I have spoken to you. Remain in me and I in you, just as the branch is unable to produce fruit by itself unless it remains in the vine, neither can you unless you remain in me. I am the vine, you are the branches. The one who remains in me and I in him produce much fruit, because you can do nothing without me. If anyone does not remain in me, he is thrown aside like a branch and he withers. They gather them, throw them into the fire, and they are burned. If you remain in me and my words remain in you, ask whatever you want and it'll be done for you. My Father is glorified by this, that you produce much fruit to be my disciples. So, if you're a disciple of Jesus, you're producing fruit. And what happens to Christians when they don't produce fruit? Well, it says, this isn't a salvation verse, I don't think. If anyone does not remain in me, he's thrown aside like a branch and he withers. If you're not remaining in Jesus, if you don't continually work at remaining in Jesus, like it says here, it says, remain in me and I in you, just as the branch is unable to produce fruit by itself, it remains on the vine. So if you're not in your word every day, you're not connected to the vine. The Bible's how we stay connected to the vine as branches. And if we don't stay connected to the vine, then we're going to wither away because we're not being fed spiritually. How many of us, you can look at me and see I'm well fed and growing, right? But spiritually, if it's a little harder to see from the outside if a person's spiritually fed or not through the Word of God. And one way you can tell, Jesus said, what proceeds out of what goes into the mouth, what a person eats doesn't defile him. It's what proceeds out of the mouth that defiles him, because it proceeds from the heart. So our words are one way to tell what path we're on. If we're on that narrow path that leads to life, well, then our words are going to speak life into people's lives. If we're on the path to destruction, then our words are going to destroy and destruct people. So, what kind of church you go to? Are they producing fruit? I'm not saying that fruit producing is dependent on you. You just got to abide in the vine. We have to be available, right? We have to be available to be in Jesus, so we're in him and he's in us, and we're producing that fruit. You can do nothing, it says here, because you can do nothing without me. If anyone does not remain in me, he's thrown aside. So you got to remain in Jesus. And you got to check the stars to see your direction, to check your path to see which one you're on, because it's so easy to get discouraged and cross over to the other side where a lot of people are, where it's easy, but it leads to destruction. So pay attention to your words. Let's bear some fruit and share our faith with people. We got to be a witness. We're not to be a judge, not to be a defendant or a prosecutor. We're not even the jury. The jury are the people you come in contact with every day, and they're the ones eating the fruit. The fruit's for the jury, the people you're a witness to. So God bless you. Have a great day.